Let's go to our guest line. As promised, we bring on the Hall of Famer. Always love catching up with Jim Beheim. Coach, how are you today?
I'm good. Marvin Harrison should be in the Hall of Fame. Paulie, you got to understand something. The numbers aren't good because we didn't throw the ball. Remember Syracuse back then?
Yes, I absolutely do. I've taken that into account.
All you need to know is watch Marvin Harrison play, which I did. He's a Hall of Fame player. That's all you need to know. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
He's a great. That shouldn't count. That shouldn't have any effect on the college, though.
He was a great player in college. We didn't throw the ball. It's not his fault.
2 days in a row now, Paulie, you lost an argument.
Just because Jim Beheim said it, I lose an argument?
Yes.
Oh, God forbid.
He was the time-breaking vote.
We'll take care of the Knicks here. First of all, the New York Knicks let go the center who's playing tonight, and if they'd have kept him, they'd probably be playing tonight. But they put all this money into guys that can't defend, and they don't have a defensive rebounding center. They didn't need Bridges. I mean, he's a good player, but they gave up 5 draft picks, and they gave up, and ended up giving up Dante, and I wasn't a Randall fan anyway to get Cat, but Dante was a big loss. Thibodeau had faith in him. He made shots. That's why he had faith in him. He made shots. He played well. But to get Bridges, they had Anunoby. They have Hart, who's really a forward anyway, and Vincenzo, and they had a good backcourt. They really needed. They could have gotten Cat, made the Randall trade for Cat, given them a couple draft choice, not the Nets, and kept Hartenstein, and I think the Knicks would be playing. So they decided now to blame it on Tom Thibodeau because they screwed up the team. What did he get? He got 3 new starters this year, right?
Yep.
And, well, actually, when you think about it, 4. Brunson's the only guy. Hart a little bit, but he played off the bench too. But they lost Randall, who started. They lost Hartenstein, who started. And they lost Dante, who played starters minutes. So he gets 3 new players, gets 51 wins, gets them by the Celtics. Indiana's a tremendous team. I think on paper, I would take Indiana's team over the Knicks. And they proved that. They beat them.
Yeah.
They have better players, I think. But Tom Thibodeau, this was not his fault. I mean, they screwed up that team to get a guy and gave away all those draft picks who's a good player. I mean, he's not a game-changing player. He's a good player. But they didn't need him because they already had Josh Hart at forward and they had Anunoby at forward. They get Cat for Randall. And I think when keep Hartenstein, I think they still be playing. That's the way I look at it. Maybe not, because Indiana's good, but maybe. But that's the whole thing with the Knicks. I mean, you fire a coach who's done that much. He's going to get $30 million to walk away, so I guess that's okay. But he just loves the coach. He'd take less money to just still be the coach, but that's all right. We'll see what they do. Sometimes you make a hire, but they've got to do something with the structure of the team. It's not the coaching, the structure of the team. Karl Anthony Towns wants to shoot threes and is not a defensive player. And, the backup center's hurt all the time. So I don't know how they can fix that team to be a championship team. If Tatum was coming back healthy, there's no way that they get by the Celtics next year. I don't think.
Coach, if you're in your prime and a job like the Knicks opened up after what they just did with their past head coach, would you take into consideration that, or would you take a gig like that?
Well, for the $30 million you're going to get, or $40 million or $50 they're going to get, you take that. You don't worry about those people. You take what you have and you coach the team, and they'll still be good. I mean, they're not going to be a bad team. So it just depends who they go get. Mike Malone's a great coach. I don't think Jay Wright's coming back to coaching, but anything's possible. But Mike Malone's really good. There's some good young coaches. But, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
There's been some buzz about Dan Hurley. What would you think
He's
about?
Not a pro coach.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
In any sense of the word. I mean, he might think he can do it, and maybe he could, but he's a college coach. Mike Krzyzewski's the smartest guy I know in basketball, and he had the Knicks job, or he had the Celtics, the Lakers. He stayed at Duke because that was his job. That was his. He probably could have done the other, but he knew he could do Duke. And Gino Auriemma had a lot of offers at men's coaching, but he knew what he had was a great job, and he knew he could do it there. And he was smart. I actually told him once that if he took a job, he was an idiot. But he stayed where he's good. Danny Hurley's a great college coach, and I mean that. I like Danny. He's a little crazy, but he's a great coach, and he should coach college. That's what he should coach. Now we're getting 40 Europeans, great players, to come over here because they were making. Jimmy played with guys making $500 a game or $500 a month or something like every 2 weeks or something, and he's getting $2.5 million to come over here and play from Germany. So they're all coming over. College basketball, is going to be pretty good. You got 40 top class, 30 to 40 top class European players. These are not college kids. These are European men players, 19, 20, 21 years old. These guys are going to make a radical difference in college basketball this year. Radical difference in the ACC, the Big Ten, all over. College basketball got a lot better. I don't think anybody has talked about that too much. Guys, 5, 6 All-Americans came back to college for $2 to $3 million a piece. So you can, not like NIL, which I don't. I mean, it's crazy. But college basketball got a lot better this year because of all these players that decided to come back or come from overseas. And that's going to continue. I talked to the major European agent who brought 30 of these guys over. And he says all the young players are going to come over here. They're making nothing over there. Those young players over there, they play on the big team, but they don't. They average 4 points a game. They don't make any money. They're all coming over here. So we're going to have a European college basketball league.
Coach, you bring that up, and Eric Devendorf told us that the league that Luke Fennell played in was playing against grown men. What did you think of that league in his play?
Well, I don't see that league. I know it's gotten a lot better. I don't know enough about him. His tape looks good. All these young guys need some time. I mean, Coach Autry did what he had to do. He got veteran guys. You got guys that are more athletic, better defenders, and they're veteran guys. And the young guys, I think, can help. But you can't win. Cayenne Anthony's good. Sleek White's good. Fennell's good. You can't win with those guys. Duke is the only team that can win with young guys, and they still got some veteran guys too. But NC State, Miami, Virginia, North Carolina, they all went out and got big guys and veteran guys. And those are the guys that you got to beat. They're not. You can't beat them. The SEC's been doing it for 2 or 3 years because they paid the most money. But they've got veteran guys, and the freshmen can play a little bit, but those veterans have to be very, very good. And I think they got the point guard. It's good to have Donnie and JJ back. And I think the kid from UCLA is going to surprise a lot of people. I think he's a really world-class defensive player. I mean, they had 2 great 7-footers at UCLA, and the kid was hurt, so he didn't play as much. But he's a defensive player, really good defensive player. So I think they're going to be much improved, but the league's going to be improved. Louisville went out and spent a ton of money. Obviously, Duke, North Carolina are good, but Virginia, Miami, North Carolina State, they all invested in their basketball programs. Virginia did as well. So it's going to be a tough league. It's going to be a better league. There'll be more teams that are tournament capable, but I think we have the potential to be good.
You know, we've talked in the past, Coach, about NIL and the fact that it felt like, you know, Syracuse maybe didn't have the resources last year that they needed to really compete. Do you feel like we will get a truer representation of what Coach Autry can do and where this program is right now this season?
We're getting better at NIL, but we're still halfway to where the SEC is. So I talked to all the SEC coaches at the Final Four, sat next to Nate, and Nate Oates, next to the Mississippi coach. What's his name? Came over from
Chris Beard. Chris Beard. Yeah.
And they just said the league's doubled.
Yeah.
You know, football has gone to 25 million in those schools. I mean, it's a joke when this judge, if she gets around, if they do approve it, it's $20 million. They're already spending 30.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Kentucky basketball's at like 20 right now, I think, right?
What do you think they're going to do? Go backwards? And they're leaving it up to a clearinghouse to approve the new deals. So when they give out the football money and say they've given out their $15 million or whatever they're allowed from the school, they go to the collective and give a quarterback $5 million, and the clearinghouse says, well, you can't give them that much money. The kid's going to go to court and say, why not? And the court's going to say, yeah, you can get whatever he wants. So there's no enforcement part of that. It's just an accounting firm that's looking at that. So he's not going to change these schools that are putting out that kind of money. It's not going to come back to just $20 million. It's going to stay at a high level until they get some kind of bargaining thing, and, you know, unions or, you know, collective bargaining. The whole thing has got to come, and that's a long ways away, I think. So
yeah,
they might as well focus on like just adding a few more teams in the NCAA tournament. You can do that easily and get a few more in. You play instead of playing Dayton, you know, a couple games in Dayton, you play a couple games in Dayton, a couple games in wherever you want to, and you get 4 or 6 more teams in the tournament. It's not going to hurt the tournament. It's going to help the tournament because you're getting better teams in that are automatic qualifiers. So it's just a small thing that they could do. But the big thing, I hope they agree to what the judge wants so that the judge will pass this, or I don't know where they'll be if they don't.
Coach, you've seen a lot of golf in your day. What do you think about what Scottie Scheffler's doing right now?
Well, I love the guy. I think he's a great human being. I think he's a great player. Nothing bothers this guy. He just plays golf. We all say, play the next hole in life too. Do the next day. Paul, you had a bad day today. You're going to get up. And tomorrow, you could possibly, it's a long shot, but you could have a good day tomorrow. And that's what you're going to try to do. And that's what we all should try to do. And that's what Scotty does. He's not throwing clubs, or once in a while he gets mad, but he doesn't worry about what he just did. He worries about the next shot. And golf is a tough game. I mean, to dominate out there now, as good as all these guys are, there's a guy that finished 50th last week that could win next week or this week there in Canada. That's how good these guys are. Who's Ben Griffin? Ben Griffin was selling whatever.
Yeah, came out of nowhere. He had given up, and then
I went up to Jimmy Roy to take a lesson, and Jimmy and Buddy, they never took a lesson. They have a lesson, and Jimmy was talking to me. By the way, he's the best teacher around here. Jimmy was talking to me about how Ben Griffin played with his son 2 or 3 years ago.
Was that right?
And was struggling just to hit get anywhere, and now you could say he's one of the top 5-10 players in the world right now. And he doesn't look like it bothers him. It doesn't look like he's going to go away. But there's just so many good golfers. It's crazy. These guys come off the Korn Ferry tour and win. They don't come off and just play. They win. Jimmy's son Kevin's been in every tournament he's been in. He's had a chance. He's done something. But these guys are so good. They're just crazy how good they are. But Scottie Scheffler, he's at another level right now. He's a lot like Nicklaus was. He's just very stable. He's very solid. He hits a cut a lot. He can make putts. He's the dominant player right now in the world. But he could go out today, and 10 of these, 20 of these kids could beat him. That's just the way it is. That's why the Ryder Cup is so tough. You tee up, and the guy makes 5, 6 birdies and beats you. And it could be anybody. That's just the way it is. Tiger Woods, the best player ever played, and he had trouble in the Ryder Cup. He didn't have, I don't even know if he had a winning record in overall Ryder Cup play. And he was the dominant player in the world. It's tough to win one day sometimes, but that's what Scheffler does. He just does what we all should do. He gets up, he goes out, and I'm going to have a good day today. And when he hits a bad shot, he says, I'm going to hit a good shot right now.
Coach, I remember hearing you had coached golf at some point in your career. What was that like? And how different is it from basketball?
It was a lot different. We just had fun playing. It was fun for me because the players played on the front 9, and I went out and played the back. And they came in and told me their scores. You couldn't coach them or anything on the course. You can now, but you couldn't then. And they came in. They said we won or lost, and we only played about 8 matches. Everybody thought we were undefeated because I called in the results, and I only called in
if you won
when we won. So everybody thought, "Boy, you're having a great year." I said, "No, we're 500."
That's funny.
No media questions. It was a good sport to coach, but it didn't pay a heck of a lot.
That's funny. I was just looking up Ben Griffin's story while you were talking. He stepped away from golf to become a mortgage loan officer.
Yeah.
He said it was too stressful playing week in and week out. He comes back in 2021. He's earned more than $11 million since then. It's just a remarkable story.
I think he's earned 6 or 7 this year, probably.
Yeah, he's
having
a great year. Having a great year. All right, lastly, Coach, literally today when I went in the office, I've got this flyer for the Beheim Weekend experience showed up on my desk. So tell us about that.
Well, it's golf at Turning Stone on Saturday morning. Poker tournament Saturday after nighttime kind of. You make money. It's not just for charity. If you play in the tournament, you win. You're gonna make money. It's not just for us making money in our charity. We will make some. And there's gonna be a dinner Friday night before the golf tournament, and you can go on our website and see it. Sign up for stuff, whatever you want to. We got quite a few golf teams already playing the best golf course in one of the best golf courses upstate New York, Adunio, and it's just a great golf course if you've never been there. Have you ever played there?
I haven't played there once. It is gorgeous, and it's a little too difficult for me, but it's a very nice course.
Yeah, and it's not as difficult as the other courses down
That's
there.
true.
That's the thing. It's a lot easier than Kaluuya or one of those. But it's the end of the month, and we still got some spots and a lot of spots for the poker tournament. That's what I do now. I play poker when I get a chance because it's kind of a fun game and competitive. But we're looking forward to that. Haven't said anything about football. Coach Brown's getting them ready. Toughest schedule I've ever seen here. I just hope he has a way to get there because any normal schedule, I think they'd be fine. This schedule is ridiculous. It just turned out to be nuts. This football schedule. It's just never. I've been here a long time. Been to most every home football game. I've never seen a schedule like this. And most of them tough games are all on the road too.
Yeah, it really is.
Coach, I noticed there's going to be a roast at the Beheim Weekend. If you need me to come up and take a couple shots at you, I'm more than willing.
I would never give you a shot to take a chance, take a shot at me, because I know I've been getting you for many, many years, and I know you probably could come up with maybe 1 or 2 good things. So I figure that John Wallace and some of those guys will get me enough. But I'm looking forward. If we're raising money for kids in Central New York, I'll take shots. I don't mind. I used to take shots and didn't get any money for it. So maybe Pat can come out and roast me and tell me.
There you go.
Tell me of all the guys he thought could start that not only couldn't start but couldn't play anywhere in the country. But that's another story.
I love it. All right, Coach. Be well. Good luck with the Beheim Experience weekend, and enjoy the start of your summer. And we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Jim Beheim joining us here on the show. And with that, we'll take a time out. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next on ESPN Radio.